What if we lost all the forests on Earth? What would happen to our planet, our wildlife, and ourselves? How can we prevent this from happening? Hello and welcome to Curiosity, where we explore fascinating and interesting topics about everything. Today, we are going to talk about a hypothetical scenario that might sound scary, but also very important to think about: deforestation. Before we dive into this topic, let me ask you a few questions. How many trees do you think there are in the world? How much oxygen do they produce? How many species do they support? How many people depend on them for their livelihoods? If you don't know the answers, don't worry, because we will find out soon enough. Deforestation means cutting down or clearing of forests for various purposes, such as agriculture, logging, mining, urban development, and so on. Deforestation is one of the major environmental problems that we face today, as it affects not only the forests themselves, but also the global climate, biodiversity, human health, and economy. According to the World Wildlife Fund, more than half of the world's forests have already been destroyed by human activities, and we are losing them at a rate of 18.7 million acres per year. That's equivalent to 27 soccer fields every minute. But what if we continue this trend and lose all the forests on Earth? What would be the consequences of such a drastic scenario? One of the most obvious effects of deforestation is the loss of oxygen production. Trees are the main source of oxygen on our planet, as they use photosynthesis to convert carbon dioxide and water into oxygen and glucose. According to a study by Yale University, there are about 3 trillion trees in the world, and they produce about 20% of the oxygen in the atmosphere. That means that each tree produces enough oxygen for 2 people to breathe. If we lost all the trees, we would lose a fifth of our oxygen supply, which would make it harder for us to breathe and survive. Another effect of deforestation is the increase of carbon dioxide emissions. Trees are also the main sinks of carbon dioxide on our planet, as they store it in their biomass and soil. According to a study by Nature, trees absorb about 15 billion tons of carbon dioxide per year, which is equivalent to 30% of the fossil fuel emissions. If we lost all the trees, we would lose a major way of removing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, which would accelerate global warming and climate change. A third effect of deforestation is the loss of biodiversity. Forests are home to more than half of all terrestrial species on Earth, including plants, animals, fungi, and microorganisms. They provide them with food, shelter, water, and other resources. They also maintain ecological balance and stability by regulating nutrient cycles, water cycles, soil quality, pest control, pollination, and so on. According to a study by Science Advances, deforestation has already caused the extinction of more than 8% of forest-dependent species, and threatens another 28% with extinction. If we lost all the forests, we would lose millions of species that are essential for our own survival and well-being. A fourth effect of deforestation is the impact on human health. Forests are not only beneficial for wildlife, but also for us humans. They provide us with many goods and services that we depend on for our daily lives. For example, they supply us with food, medicine, fuel, fiber, timber, rubber, and so on. They also protect us from natural disasters such as floods, landslides, droughts, erosion, and so on. They also improve our mental and physical health by providing us with recreation, education, culture, and spirituality. According to a study by The Lancet Planetary Health, deforestation has already increased the risk of infectious diseases. such as malaria, Lyme disease, Ebola, and COVID-19, as it disrupts the natural habitats and interactions of wildlife and humans. If we lost all the forests, we would lose many of the benefits and services that they provide us, and expose ourselves to more diseases and disasters. A fifth effect of deforestation is the damage to the economy. Forests are not only valuable for their ecological and social functions, but also for their economic potential. They generate income and employment for millions of people around the world, especially in rural and indigenous communities. They also contribute to the global trade and market of various products and commodities. They also support the tourism and recreation industries, which attract visitors and generate revenue. According to a study by the World Bank, deforestation has already cost the global economy about $2 to $5 trillion per year, due to the loss of ecosystem services and natural capital. If we lost all the forests, we would lose a huge source of wealth and prosperity for ourselves and future generations. As you can see, deforestation has many negative consequences for our planet, our wildlife, and ourselves. It is a serious problem that needs to be addressed urgently and effectively. But how can we do that? How can we stop deforestation and save the forests? Well, there are many possible solutions and actions that can be taken to prevent this scenario from happening as follows. Reducing our consumption and demand for forest products, such as paper, palm oil, beef, soy, and so on. We can do this by choosing more sustainable and eco-friendly alternatives, such as recycled paper, organic food, plant-based products, and so on. Supporting forest conservation and restoration efforts, such as creating protected areas, planting trees, restoring degraded lands, and so on. We can do this by donating to or volunteering for organizations that work on these issues, such as WWF, Greenpeace, the Nature Conservancy, and so on. Promoting forest management and governance practices, such as enforcing laws and regulations, monitoring forest activities, empowering local and indigenous communities, and so on. We can do this by advocating for or participating in policies and initiatives that aim to protect the forests, such as REDD+, FSC certification, UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration, and so on. Educating ourselves and others about the importance and value of forests, and the threats and challenges that they face. We can do this by learning more about the topic, sharing our knowledge and opinions with others, raising awareness and engagement among our peers and networks, and so on. These are just some of the examples of what we can do to stop deforestation and save the forests. There are many more ways that we can contribute to this cause, depending on our abilities, interests, and opportunities. The important thing is that we act now, before it is too late. That's all for today's episode. Thank you for watching Curiosity. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. And don't forget to share your thoughts and questions in the comments below. Until next time, stay curious.